I spend a lot of time researching different themes, niches, design aesthetics that are performing really well in e-commerce today on platforms like Etsy, Google, Pinterest, etc. And today I'm going to walk you through not only one of the top rising trends over the last couple of months, but also how you could design it. For me, before I design anything, my first step is to do my research. I want to understand what is working across the market, so I'm working smarter, not harder, and actually just designing something that has some signals of what is already working in the market today. If I were to design something cold without any data tied to it, that may take a little bit longer to pick up speed. And we have such an advantage to have all these great tools at our fingertips to actually see what's happening so we can give ourselves a leg up for our own businesses. So the way that I like to do that is I take a look at a platform like Etsy, and I use a tool called Everbee that does have a free plan that will allow you to take a look at some different terms and products and actually get some revenue estimates and sales estimates to see which products are performing well across the platform. So what I do is I go over to Etsy, I type in something super broad. I just want to take a look at like all types of designs, all types of niches. I don't want to hone in too quickly. And I take a look at t-shirt. From there, I go over to my panel here and I choose product analytics. And the product analytics is basically going to analyze Etsy to see which products are performing well. So I want to take a look at the entire database. And because I want to see what's performing well, I'm going to pair this data back to just the last 4 months. I want to kind of understand, since summer started, as we go into fall and as we go into winter, what are the designs that are working well? So I'm going to do a max listing age of 4 months. And I'm going to keep this at just what are the sales numbers for last month, because I just want to see what is trending and what is driving the most amount of revenue within the last 30 days. From there, I can just scroll through these listings, open them up, get a good pulse check on different products that might be performing well, what's kind of trending down, and also start to spot out a couple of similarities and give myself that leg up to actually take that and make my own designs. I'm obviously going to avoid anything that's trademarked, and what this video is based off of today is actually going to be the Doodle design. As I did this research, I was able to find a couple of listings that were in this nearly 10K per month of revenue, like this, and like this, that are using this doodle aesthetic and doodle line drawings to drive insane amounts of revenue. So between both of these listings, they have driven over $14,000 of revenue in just the last month, and they've been increasing in sales week over week. And this product, you can see by itself, is only 1 month old and has already done $8,200 of revenue on average. So it's listings like this that take a niche that we know is really popular. It's going to be a pregnancy reveal. It's going to be aunt shirts, family related shirts. And also I did a video about that silly goose category and how that was like a viral meme that took off, and it married all of those things together. So this has clearly been a trend, even though I did that video a while ago of silly goose, that somebody has seen that heightened trend that everybody was jumping on, saw that trend, cross-niched that with a baby reveal in aunt t-shirt. And not just that, they added in this beautiful aesthetic that we've started to see pop up more and more in 2025 of having this kind of like doodle hand-drawn aesthetic. Very similar to this other listing that if we analyze that a little bit further, we can see that it's been live for 2 months and it's driven $7,000 of revenue on average. Remember, this is all on average. There's going to be some nuance here, and a very similar mentality that this seller probably was thinking about to create this listing of, we know that the bachelorette niche is super popular. We know that personalized bachelorette works really, really well. It was summertime, so they niched that here as well. And they added in the line doodle drawing here too. So every time that you see these listings, start to break them apart and understand the components that go into a bestseller, and not just a bestseller, an immediate bestseller. And so when I see this, this opens up a world for me to say, we can use this same roadmap and the same recipe for other niches, other holidays, other events, other bachelorette and bridesmaid themes as well, because there's data here that shows that it's working well, and so much opportunity for creative expression and change that we can make these listings our own and do our own designs. So after doing our research and understanding that this hand-drawn doodle aesthetic is working really, really well across many niches, our next step is to actually understand how to design this. So there's a couple of things that I would recommend you take a look at if you're interested in getting into this type of design category going into Q4 that I anticipate and I predict is going to remain a very large seller going into the holiday season. So the first thing that you can do is you can obviously just source these doodles and do a little bit of that manual work to collect them all and put them together in a similar type of collage like this. One platform that I would recommend you take a look at for this is utilizing Creative Fabrica. Now, Creative Fabrica is a website that hosts so many different graphics, fonts, POD designs, embroidery designs, craft designs that you can get access to. It's very affordable. So if you're interested in just having a ton of different designs at your fingertips that you can use for your business, most of them on a fully commercial lens, this is a platform that I would recommend. I pay for this subscription every single year. It costs me, as you can see here, $47 for an entire year. So that breaks down to $4 per month. That's less than a latte. And you get access to all of their designs. I recommend them because if you go ahead and you type into here Doodle, you are going to see some options that are beautiful that would specifically work for this exact design aesthetic that we are looking to create ourselves. They're not all perfect, but they do give you a couple of very good designs for inspiration that you can take a look at and incorporate into your designs. So as an example, here's one by an artist that I have utilized before that is specifically for the beach bundle. You can see that they have designs here and they've kind of put together a few different designs on their own. These are graphics where you can export them and you can go into Canva and just choose the ones that you want to add onto your design. But obviously you can see that there are so many really great options. I also love this one that is like hand-drawn and whimsical and gives more of that Parisian theme. And you can see that there are a bunch of different categories just in this one design that you would be able to once again throw into Canva and just choose the different designs that you would like, utilizing the eraser tool or the magic grab tool and actually putting this into your own design. If you spend some time on here, you'll be able to see other categories like vintage foodie doodle, winter wonderlands as well, autumn, Halloween. There's also ones for nurse. So folks have kind of started to put these together, but you can make this your own. You can take a design like this, move things around, add in a personalization element that would make this really customized to your own design. So don't just take these and use them, even if they are eligible for full print-on-demand usage as they are stock. Go ahead, make some changes to this, make it a little bit more whimsical, maybe swap out the font to more closely match those designs that we were seeing on Etsy and give it a little bit of a flair that makes this unique to your own shop. But let's say you can't find the exact design you're looking for. Let's say you're trying to launch something really nuanced, really specific to your category. You have a really great idea for a very specific bachelorette or bridesmaid tee, and you just can't find the right design. Obviously, there are going to be folks that are on Etsy that are selling different doodle designs too. If you wanted to have more of like a specific price point, this you get $47 for the year and you get all of these designs throughout the entire year. But let's say you wanted to make something very different, or you cannot find something and you cannot source something that you really would like because you want it to all kind of match the same aesthetic. I would recommend going over and utilizing Kittl. So Kittl is a platform that is very similar to Canva, but was actually made for more of print-on-demand sellers and graphic designers that have more of that like streetwear aesthetic and are looking to launch their own business and have more of that templated style. And unlike Canva, you can actually use these with very little change on a commercialized basis. So check them out if you're interested in having a Canva alternative. Canva is great for what I mentioned before of like removing things and making some edits and using their templates for non-commercial usage. But Kittl is a really great tool as well if you're interested in getting even more professional with your designs because they have a lot of very up-to-date and very trendy designs on their site. But in addition to that, they launched this new tool called Flows that actually allows you to take a design, give it an AI prompt to make a change to the design, and it will spit out that changed design for you. And it makes it very easy to do this on a consistent and replicable basis because you've now created this kind of like flow of directions and it spits out the designs for you. So I'll show you an example of that right here. So what I've done is I have just found a pair of heels that is very detailed, but is not the style that I want. I want to be able to include these heels, but in that more hand-drawn line doodle style. So what I've done is I've created a flow and I've given it the prompt of change the design style to be an illustrative line doodle. And so that's exactly what it spit out. It took away all of the additional decor and took away this kind of like oil painting style design and just gave me the basics of what I would want to be able to change this to the color that I would like and put it perfectly on my doodle drawing that I would be wanting to make for this bigger design piece. I like the way that this looked, but I had noticed that in some of the other designs, it looked a little bit more distressed, a little bit more like unfinished. And so I wanted to take this a step further and ask for a little bit more of a distressed feel that gave it more of that like unfinished vibe. So I said, make the design look more like a hand-drawn doodle with a slightly distressed feel. And that's exactly what it did. So it spit out this design that is absolutely perfect for the design that I would be wanting to make and would allow me to actually throw this in and look organic and look like it all fits together in one cohesive design. And what is amazing about this tool is it allows you to not have to create the prompt every single time. So since I've created a flow and I've created a series of steps that I want this to follow, all I have to do is throw in another image and ask the system to generate this again. So by generating this again, it uses the exact same details, uses the same prompt. And so the result that I'm able to get back out is very on trend and on aesthetic with the other design that I've already asked it to create. So it makes sure that your design will look super cohesive and everything will match really nicely. So now once I have these different images that will allow me to convert over to an image, I'd be able to throw them right into a design, like a bigger design, and have that be very cohesive and personalized to whatever I'm looking to launch and whatever niche I'm wanting to adapt this style for. I will include a link to Everbee in the description below in case you're wanting to go ahead and do that research on your own. Like I said, I use that tool every week to make sure that I'm staying on top of the trends and what is performing best on Etsy, because Etsy is always a great proxy for also what is performing well just across e-commerce in general. I'll also drop a link to Creative Fabrica in case you're interested in just getting access to all of those different templated designs. And I'll drop a link to Kittl if you would like to try out this new flow and see if that works well for your design inspiration process as well. If this was helpful, please like and subscribe for more content like this.